People ask what we build, and I'm like, if it's a box that goes on a truck, we build it. We're 7 foot tall, 6 foot 8.5 wide. You could have an elevator bed in here and still be able to walk under it. It drives like a normal Sprinter van. That's what people love about this. You can add fabric walls, you can add wood on the ceiling, you can add a hydronic floor heating system. You can do it as bare bones or as crazy as you want.
What is up, everybody? We're doing a really cool tour, and it's not going to be like any other tour that I do on this channel. It is actually a tour, excuse the wind, maybe I can actually use this as an intro. We're going to tour this big box on a Sprinter chassis, and I'm going to step inside this said box right now. Look at this. It is a complete empty shell, but it gives all of you the opportunity to get one of these through the company I'm about to introduce you to, which is Foundation Vehicles. He's going to give you all the information about the box itself. This is pre-insulated, a pre-insulated box that you can actually get for almost the same price as a regular Sprinter. So you definitely want to watch the whole video and get all the details and pricing on this chassis right now. Here we go. Finnegan O'Connor, everybody. What's up, buddy?
Not much, out here at Overland Expo. Yeah, no, it's been a great weekend and great weather this year, actually.
Yeah, a little windy, so guys, if we get some wind, I do apologize. We're gonna try our best to not do that.
Better than rain or 100 degrees, so.
This is also true. So you run what company, Finn?
Foundation Vehicles.
And what does Foundation Vehicles do?
We build bodies to put on cabin chassis vehicles.
Okay.
So people ask what we build, and I'm like, if it's a box that goes on a truck, we build it. This is our van here, so we also do vans, trucks. We're also doing some stationary units, like tiny homes. We build insulated boxes, and so whatever use you can come up with them, we build it.
Shout out to Van Dam. This is theirs, technically?
Yes, they just bought this. They had us do a Raptor liner on it, and rip kit, super single wheels and tires from Rika, side skirts.
Which is funny because their booth is right next to you.
Right here, yeah, absolutely.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, no, and they came in, they're like, nice wheels, and I'm like, yeah. Now they look awesome. Drives awesome.
Yeah, you actually drove it out here.
Yep, drove out here from San Diego. It drives like a normal Sprinter van. That's what people love about this, is they get more space, but it drives like a normal Sprinter van.
All right, before we go inside, we're going to talk about the inside dimensions and everything else. So Foundation, if I'm standing corrected, you get the cutaway chassis of Sprinter, and then you make the box, Foundation, and then you put it on said chassis, and then you deliver it to either a customer or a company?
Yes, correct. So since we're an automotive manufacturer, and so we can buy an incomplete vehicle from Ford, Chevy, Mercedes, whoever, and we then install our subframe and body onto it, and then we can certify it as a completed vehicle. And to do that, we're meeting FMVSS certifications, DOT regulations, Mercedes regulations, all of those. And so we even go in and we reprogram the body modules for the center of gravity. That's how far we go to provide, a fully ready-to-go chassis. You can buy the whole chassis from us, or if you have your own chassis, we'll put a box on it, you know? But mostly we just buy the chassis for you, put the body on, you buy it as one unit.
And what is the chassis model? Because obviously they have like a 1500, 2500, 3500.
Yep. So this is a 3500 XD, and so it has about an 11,050 pound gross vehicle weight rating, which is the highest you can get on a all-wheel drive Sprinter. And so it comes as a cutaway. We install the body. The body's about 1,000 pounds, and so by the end of it, you have about 5,000, 5,500 pounds of payload capacity left for your build out.
And I'll put an image up of what it comes without the whole Raptor lining and the wheels, suspension, tires.
Well, to stop you there, what we do is we paint match the body to whatever color cab you order.
All right,
That's
cool.
standard in the price.
That is, okay.
The Line X is an extra charge.
And what is the price of even a color match, a regular delivered to the customer or to a shop?
Yeah, so for the 170 here, it's a $49,500 upfit. That includes our subframe, which is the world's first, pivoting, or not quite pivoting. We'll say the world's first torsion reduction subframe that we designed with Mercedes. Comes with the subframe, the box, painted and mounted onto the vehicle for that price. And then we have other options for storage boxes, side skirts, doors, windows, hatches, whatever you can kind of think of that does not, we don't do anything on the inside. We just put your doors, windows, stuff in.
And let's grab one of those panels if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the van, it's the smaller of the two.
Yes, so this is our 1.5-inch Expedition lightweight series panel. This is a 1.5 inch. It's an R12 insulated foam, and then a 6-layer composite matrix on each side. So
And what is the R value on that?
R12 on this.
And that's on the van behind you?
Yep, that's on the van behind us. This goes on anything up to a F550.
Great.
So from, once we get into the bigger trucks, we have the same skin, but a larger foam. So it's a 2.5-inch panel. That is an R18. Then when we get into the big trucks, 19,000 pound GVW or more, we use this Expedition Series panel, which is also 2.5 inches, but as close to bulletproof as you can get. It is a beefy panel. So.
And you work with Globe Tracker,
yes,
which is actually the booth we're in right now. You see the big sign. Correct. I've actually done a video with Globe Tracker, so I can actually overlay some of that footage as well.
Yeah. So we work with Globe Tracker as our engineering and materials partner, design partner. They're the engineers behind it all. They've been doing it for a very long time, and they've been very, very good to work with. And any of our crazy requests, they've come up with good solutions for.
Well, let's step inside,
Yeah.
and we're actually gonna get out of the wind. You're gonna hear and see the difference in just sound. Think we can shut this?
Yes, we can shut it. I hope it's not too dark, but
That should be all right. So Finn, you actually a little bit taller than me, but what are the interior dimensions in here?
we're 7 foot tall.
Okay.
So 7 feet tall, 6 foot 8.5 wide. So you can, I wouldn't say anybody, pretty much anybody can fully stand up in here very comfortably. You can
Could you put a lift bed in here?
You could have an elevator bed in here and still be able to walk under it just fine.
Which is probably the biggest thing that's wrong with the elevator beds in a regular van is we can't walk underneath them, and now we can.
Yep, exactly. So that is huge because there is a cab over.
Yeah.
It's a twin XL size, but it's not something most people will sleep in because your head height here is just about 24 inches. You can put the kids up there, just like, it's a fun little place. Use it for storage, whatever. But a box like this is begging for a lift bed.
It really is. I mean, honestly, for me, if I was ever build one of these, maybe I would love to, by the way. I think that storage, electrical.
You have a lot of weight capacity. We want to watch the center of gravity on this, but I mean, we have no concern with you putting, weight up there.
You do have the cutaway like you spoke of, and now you have the swivel seats in there.
Yeah, so we have this. We've left this as a square cutout because the whole thing in here, it's square.
Right.
We wanted to leave everything square. We can open this up to be, the full rounded pass-through, but we're trying to make building easier. Having that allows you to do, door system very easily, and you still get to use the factory swivels. These are Mercedes factory swivel seats. Fully swivel them all the way around to lock, and have that full pass-through still. We have had customers who've asked for, a full wall with a door. And that's something that we can do as well.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly. It just isolates any of the noise, or if you want to heat,
Yeah, it takes all the heating and cooling and leaves it up in the cab.
Exactly. And so if you're boondocking for a while, you can just heat or cool this area without all of the glass. Glass is the biggest heat sink here. So.
And with the amount of room that we are in, it's not essential to have those as swivels, so it's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great option. When people are coming from a Sprinter van, which most of our clients are, this is what they know and what they want, and it's comfortable and just feels normal. Feels like a normal van.
The R12 already pre-insulated panels. Yep. We don't have to worry about insulation. We don't even have to worry about
no walls. You don't have to build walls.
Framing at this at all.
Yeah, no.
So if I want to put a big galley in, we're just going to hypothetically say there's a galley here, or even a galley here, maybe some upper cabinets. How the heck do I attach them to said frameless wall?
Yeah, absolutely. There's different building methods. This panel is meant to take adhesive. Most of the time you're going to be gluing with, gluing is a weird word. People are like, you're going to like glue things to the wall. Yes, we use an automotive grade adhesive to affix cabinetry or whatever it might be to the walls. One thing that we've been recommending to our consumers is taking this 80-20 track that is at the floor and on the ceiling. Yeah, that single channel 80-20. If you can glue that to the wall wherever you need structure and you want to bolt something to the wall so it can be removable.
Yep.
People have a hard time being like, I'm going to glue something permanently in here when they don't even maybe know their full layout, or they want to just test fit things. They don't, With gluing the 80-20 to the wall and having the ability to bolt in, it just makes everything a lot more approachable, a lot more easier. And 80-20 is available everywhere.
You can have removable uppers, you can have removable galleys, you can do whatever the heck
precisely. You want. So you're not locking yourself into one layout, and if you decide to fully change it, you can. If you want to sell it and you want to take your cabinetry out, whatever, it just gives people options.
Have you heard or have you seen anybody maybe talking about maybe even taking this rear wall and making it into a drop wall that could actually be a toy hauler?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. It is a project that's in development right now, and hope to have it out by the end of the summer here.
Yeah.
We have a company who's building it for us, and it'll be a full rear wall replacement that just drops down as into a ramp.
And then foundation will offer that as an upgrade?
Yep, absolutely. Okay, cool. Yep, just one of our options. So this box is so structural based on the panels and the extrusions we use. You can cut out the whole wall and, it doesn't affect the structure.
A couple more questions here for you, Finn.
Yeah.
This technically, the vans are more of a Class B.
Yeah.
This would be kind of a Class C, if I'm saying it correctly.
It's a gray area where it's been dubbed B+.
Okay.
Class C, I think, has some regulations on their width and their length and height. I think we are just under a Class C technically because we are on a van chassis. We are not on a straight frame chassis.
So question for you is, my father actually has an RV. Mm-hmm. However, his sides pop out.
Yep.
Is something like that in the works?
Yes.
Are you allowed to say?
I'm going to say yes, it's in the works. But yes, that's all I can say as well.
Okay, fair enough. I actually did not know that. I'm your good friend, and I still didn't know.
And then.
Oh, going up too. All right. So you can do that. Yeah. Yep. Or if a DIYer wants to be courageous enough to try it, they can try it.
Yep. Because like I said, our panels they're all structural panels.
Sure.
And so you can cut out the majority of what you see here, and it's still really structural.
So, and just like in a van, you can cut a side out and put a window in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anybody can do that. They can, cut out a window, Arctic Turn windows, KCT, outbound, Motorcraft. Any of the windows can go in these walls. This is, as well as the doors. If you want us to paint match those, we can also do that where, we CNC cut out your windows and your doors if you know your layout, and we'll paint match all the frames, and it just looks really flush. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really easy to install.
But yeah, in terms of doing it yourself, as long as you have a skill saw or a circular saw,
jigsaw,
whatever, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, no problem. It's only 1.5 inches, right?
Yeah. And there's no metal in the walls that you have to worry about or anything. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's like there's no A pillar, B pillar, C. I mean, there's an A pillar, but there's no B pillar, C pillar. No. There's no cross members up here. Like I know with a lot of van companies, we have problems cutting into the roof because we don't want to hurt the structural integrity.
There's short of removing every single panel in here, you're fine.
Well, the wall and ceiling is technically structural. The panel itself is structural.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You can have a lot of people on the roof. We haven't put a number to it yet, so but.
So again, you could go solar up top with plenty.
So much room for solar. Yeah. I mean, I haven't even done the measurement, but I'm sure you can fit thousands of watts.
Did we mention, like, we already said height, we already said width. Did you say floor?
Yeah, so all of our chassis correspond with the cargo van variant. So this right here, we're standing in a 170. It's the exact same floor length as a 170, which is 14 feet.
We just don't have to deal with the curve.
Oh yeah, and yes, the height, we get way more height, way more curve, but in terms of length, it's the same overall tip to tail length vehicle. So it's a 22.5-foot vehicle.
Plus the overhead.
Yep, exactly.
So that's great.
Yeah, so 14-foot floor, 36-inch cab over, which is the furthest we can go per Mercedes guidelines. And then our 144 is a 19.5-foot, and then the 170 extended is additional, I think, 18 inches.
144 box with a drop bed would be maybe the perfect van.
Yeah, I mean, super agile, but you have all the room inside.
All the room.
This box here is pretty much the same size that people are putting on expedition vehicles, like bigger truck chassis. But it's on a van chassis.
That's crazy.
It's easy to drive, but you get the space of an expedition vehicle.
That's crazy.
It's not much wider. Like, you go outside and you can barely see how much, it's maybe an additional 3 inches on each side.
And you can paint the walls like you can paint the exterior walls. You must be able to paint the interior walls.
Oh yeah, you can paint
fabric.
them. You can fabric, laminate, whatever you want. Yeah, you can just go right to it.
A nice matte Phoenix laminate would be so good.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
Well, Finn, maybe how we can find you, where we can get a hold of you, and maybe if we want to order them for ourselves, or if you're a company and you want to order some.
Yeah, absolutely. So foundationvehicles.com, Foundation Vehicles, Instagram, Facebook, all the social medias. Just give us a call or submit a contact inquiry form, and we can get you going on whatever chassis you're looking for. All of our models are on the website. We are also in the process of adding more. We have flatbed models, we have slide-in models, and so many more options that are coming. Another thing that's coming, I don't know if I talked to you about yet, is cabinetry. Okay. We're doing drop-in pre-built aluminum cabinetry that you can order with your van. We'll have a few different layouts available, and you just pick the layout and the color, and it gets shipped right to your house with the van.
And is it flat packed? Do they have to put it together themselves?
Nope, comes pre-assembled, free shipping right to you.
Wow, talk about just like literally you order a van off of Amazon and it would just come to you.
That is what we're going for here. And so you get the van, you get the pallet, and you have a van with cabinetry in a day.
Wow, you're good to go. You just have to add electrical, water, some other things.
Then add your systems. Because this is a finished wall, this is a finished ceiling, this is a finished floor.
Run some cables and call it a day.
Exactly. You can add more. You can add fabric walls. You can add wood on the ceiling. You can add a hydronic floor, heating system.
You could.
Whatever you want, you can do, but you can do it as bare bones or as crazy as you want.
I love it. Well, thank you, Finn, and Foundation Vehicles, and we will see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Later.